All right, so we have some stuff we wanted to get through. Of course, we were calling out some players and teams we wanted to put in prison. So now it's time for us to call out the frauds and the not frauds, the people who actually are coming through.
Are they real or are they fraud, right?
Yeah, are they real or are they fraud? So we have 3 teams that we wanted to talk about. Are they real or are they fraudulent? Teams that kind of been playing better than I think people thought to start the season.
Beating teams they may have not should have beaten, maybe,
Yeah, maybe,
they were dogs and they came out on top.
Teams that were bad last year too, and now teams that are a little better this year. So first team that we wanted to start out with, Zach. Let's go up north.
Yeah.
Minnesota
Go to
Timberwolves land. Yeah, so Minnesota Timberwolves, fraud or not frauds?
See, this is where I'm in a tough spot. I'm in a tough situation because I'm high on Anthony Edwards so far.
Okay.
Playing well, like I said before. Defensively, he wants to guard the best player on the opposing team. He's dialed in. He went out. He beat the Golden State Warriors this week. Obviously, they didn't have Steph, I believe, so it was a tough situation. Then Draymond and Rudy, they out there fighting.
They still got it done.
They still got it done. I will say that. But they've beaten teams, that people didn't expect them to beat, like the Miami Heat, the Denver Nuggets, the Minnesota Timberwolves. But remember, I was mad a few weeks ago that they lost to the Toronto Raptors. I was very upset that they did that. Yep. So I'll say that this team is real for now because they got good leadership in Anthony Edwards. I think if he just continues to elevate that team and elevate his game throughout the season, he'll be in an MVP conversation and he'll for sure be an all-star.
So I think that they are not frauds for the regular season. I'm not going to say I have any playoff expectations for this team because of one Rudy Gobert.
That's fair.
Now, this team is the best defensive rating in the NBA. They are a tremendous defensive team, and I think that's a big reason is because of Rudy Gobert.
They've held a few teams under 100 points so far this season.
Which is, in this day and age, is really
very hard
impressive.
to do.
So I would say for the regular season, they're not frauds. I think they're going to continue their trajectory of being a top 5 team in the West as long as they have Anthony Edwards playing well.
They're going to stay out the play.
Rudy Gobert has actually improved the defense, and I hate that I have to compliment Rudy Gobert on a public
for me,
area.
That's never been an issue for me. It's the offensive side of the ball.
It's the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, I mean, so you look at their stats. Of course, they're the best defensive rated team in the NBA this season. I can sort it to try to see what their offensive stats are, but it really isn't that bad. I think they're ranked maybe top 15. In offensive
probably in the middle of the pack.
They're 18th offensively in offensive
somewhere in the middle of the pack.
So they're middle of the pack offensively, really good defensively. That'll get you through the season. That'll probably keep you a top 5 team throughout the regular season.
At least they hope
you'll
so,
have
right?
some good offensive nights, and as long as Anthony Edwards leads that team, I think they're in a good spot.
It's funny how we didn't mention Karl-Anthony Towns. I just find that hilarious that we just didn't mention
the guy doesn't even fight. He doesn't protect the Rudy Gobert.
He didn't.
Respect,
but he had 33 this week, though. I just got to at least say that. He had 33
and that's the
11.
thing. Like, if he plays the correct position, if he plays the right way, he's not trying to jack up 3-point shots, he can be a good asset to that team.
I actually heard somebody say something that was interesting. I want to hear your take on this real quick. Did positionless basketball ruin the NBA?
No.
Because now let me finish.
People have to adjust. They got to evolve.
No, listen to me now. The accountability aspect. So now you expect a 7-foot guy like Karl-Anthony Towns to be able to do what on the defensive side of the ball, sir?
Right, you want him to guard all 5 positions.
Necessarily rebound, block shots. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to trade for another 7-footer to do said things, right?
Right.
Think about that, right? You would have to trade for Rudy Gobert to supplement the things that Karl-Anthony Towns don't do or don't do at an elite level.
Right. I mean, he's not an elite shot blocker.
Right.
He's not an elite defender, really.
You know what I mean?
He's maybe just not an elite player. I don't know. 1 + 1 = 2 right here, I think, for Karl-Anthony Towns. But I do like Anthony. I like the base that they have. I really do. And the coaching's good. I think the start is not fraudulent for this team. Okay. Next one. Let's go to Texas. We're not talking about the Mavs.
Nope, because
we're going to talk about the Rockets.
Because listen, the Mavs are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Mavs are doing well.
And the Rockets got off to a good start. They probably exceed expectations so far the first 9 or 10 games throughout the season. They still frauds, though. I'm not giving them no love.
The Rockets are frauds.
Yep.
Really? Because I've been making lots of money betting them as home underdogs this season. The market thinks they're still the Rockets.
So you bet them against the Lakers, too, then. That's what that means. That's what it sounds like.
Listen to me.
I don't blame you.
This team has Ime Udoka, who... Listen, all the off-the-court stuff certainly not good, and there was a reason he got let go from Boston, but the guy's a coach. He can coach. So
he definitely can coach.
You essentially have a coach that people really forgot about because of all the issues that he had off the court with the Celtics. Throw a really good X's and O's coach into a team with now veteran-led leadership with Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks.
With who?
Dylan Brooks, a little veteran leadership, maybe a little.
You got
too
Evan over there laughing.
That's right. Maybe that's a little too much. But I will say, you get Fred VanVleet, veteran leadership, little veteran leadership for Fred VanVleet, and you have some young guys too, right?
Yeah,
you have a really
Jalen
good,
Green.
yeah, you have a
And
good.
Jabari
class.
Smith has
Yeah,
improved
Jabari
from a
Smith's
year
been
ago.
great.
I will say that he's elevated his game.
What about Alperen
a ton.
Sengun?
I always been high on him.
Guy's
though.
a king.
Sengun, yeah, I've always been high on that dude. He's get ball for sure.
Yeah, so they have. I don't want to. It's not the best mix of old guys, veterans, and young guys, but they have a good combination. If you take out Dylan Brooks, I don't need to talk about Dylan Brooks.
He's had a few good games too. I don't want to be a full hater out there and just be like Dylan Brooks is trash. No, he had a couple good games for sure. I just didn't like to stare down with him and Brian. Like, bro, you doing too much out here. Like, chill.
Yeah. No, I think that's
Stop
fair.
poking the bear.
But the funny thing is too, you look at some of these advanced stats. Houston Rockets 4th in the league in defensive rating. They're top 5 defense according to the defensive rating. So they figured something out. Well, and when you get a young team to play defense,
that's a big thing too. Like you said with Ime Udoka in Boston, they were one of the best defensive teams out there. Especially you remember that time where they were like 500 before January, and then they just went on a run and ended up in the finals. So like at that particular time, like you said, they were a top defensive team under Ime Udoka, the Boston Celtics. So look at Houston doing their thing. I'm still not, you talking. Listen, you talking nice. But I'm still not giving them that waiver yet. They frauds for now.
We got to make guidelines, right? Like what's frauds? Like no, we're not expecting them to make the finals, but playoff team?
Who, the Houston Rockets? Play-in team, 9 or 10.
They're not, you don't even think they're. So right now they're 4th in the West.
Yeah. Bro, it's November.
I don't think that's gonna stay. That's fair. I don't think that's gonna stay. But does that make them frauds? I think they make the playoffs. Probably a play-in team. Probably.
9 or 10. They don't even get 7, 8.
No, I think they can get 8.
You tripping.
I think they can get 8. I think the Rockets can get 8 for sure.
So if they get 8, who won't get in?
I mean, you look at some of these teams right now. Lakers, I don't know, man. The Lakers have been playing well. They have not been playing well.
They
don't
Davis
have a cast of characters.
Anthony Davis is a scrub right now.
I mean, LeBron's old.
9 and 9. You had 9 points, 9 rebounds this week, bro. Like, and you a top 70. How is a top 75 player scoring under 10 points? You top 75.
It's not good.
It's no excuse.
Let's go one more thing. 60 seconds. Magic. Frauds or not frauds in Orlando?
They are not frauds, sir.
I
got high expectations for that team. You know, I did early on. I said they're one of my 1 year away teams. And listen, Franz Wagner, he out there toying with the Chicago Bulls the other night. And then you got Paolo getting the game winner. They're gonna play again, I think, this week too. So hopefully, maybe the Bulls can get some get back. Evan, I hope. I don't know, man.
Bulls right now 0-1 against the Magic this week. By the time the show airs, maybe 0-2, maybe 1-1.
We'll see.
They better look better because they look bad on Wednesday against the Magic.
You know what's been a real sleeper for the Orlando Magic? This is what I want y'all to pay attention to, folks. Jonathan Isaac, stud. He has been playing well off the bench, playing very well.
Yeah, it's a team has so many fun young assets.
They may have
we
too
talked
many.
about Suggs and how good he was. Like, it's just this team is fun, man. So they can't be frauds to me.